this, and then I looked at the calendar and I realized it was the Sunday after prom. Sunday evening after prom, and I see they have the lights down nice out there. Feel kind of like somebody speaking after lunch at a math convention or something like that. So, try to stay awake. Try to stay with me. If we need to turn the lights on, let me know. But thanks for asking me to speak here tonight. Congratulations to all the National Honor Society inductees and your families. It's a nice accomplishment, and this is a really nice recognition. As I was thinking about my introduction tonight, I thought of a couple of examples. Back in October of last year, I was asked to represent my family at a Hall of Fame banquet. My dad was being inducted to an athletic Hall of Fame. I wasn't really asked to present our family's speech. I was told by my brothers that I was going to do that because they're tyrants. And so I had to put this speech together, and they sent me the information about the banquet, and they made sure to tell me in the information that this speech was to be about the person being inducted, that I wasn't supposed to talk about myself. I knew that. I had that figured out. But they wanted to make sure that it wasn't about me. So here I was talking to a group of Hall of Fame athletes, All-Americans, a 6'10" basketball player, and all these football players that were very successful at UW-Whitewater. And then there was me. I felt a little bit out of place, but I got through that speech. And then I thought about back when I was in high school, and Mrs. Coles, my English teacher, I got into honors English somehow. There was a scheduling error, and I was and she was our National Honor Society supervisor. I was doing pretty good in honors English. I said, Mrs. Coles, I hear about this National Honor Society. I'd like to apply. She said, Jeffrey. That's what she called me. When we were talking about my grade. Jeffrey, that's an academic organization. Yeah. So my point in those two examples is, I'm here tonight talking to the National Honor Society, which Mrs. Coles would not even give me the application for. And I spoke at a Hall of Fame, which they told me to be sure that I understood that it wasn't about me, because I was not being inducted to the Hall of Fame. So I'm very comfortable speaking in front of groups or organizations that would never consider having me as a member. So we'll see how this goes. To introduce the topic of my speech, as many of the students know, when I was growing up, I had a number of pets. I was back before there was poultry ordinances and things like that. We had chickens in the backyard. And some of the pets that I remember most, I'll share a few of them with you here. Pete the pigeon. Pigeon named Pete. Nice pigeon. Dixie was a white dove that we had captured. Ralph. We had Ralph the raccoon. Yes, we had a pet raccoon. Did you catch all that alliteration, Mrs. Axelrod? Dixie, Ralph the raccoon, the pet, is a biting wild raccoon, and my parents thought that he would be a good pet. We actually found him on the golf course, and we made him our pet, and he bit us numerous times, and he was a very interesting little pet, and we had to get rid of him because the DNR got involved. But those are some of our pets. We also had Henrietta the chicken, and Henrietta the chicken, I didn't know. We had multiple rabbits. The rabbits were like kind of disposable of us, and they were all named Fluffy, one after the other. One rabbit wasn't there, but there would be a new Fluffy there. Hamsters, we had some stray cats that hung around our house, and we fed them. And then a dog or two. We had ducks one time, but we always had some dogs. And I grew up hearing stories about all these great pets from my family's history. I had Rex, the white German Shepherd. Remember I told you about that? He rescued Grandpa Schlender from the attacking bull. Remember that? And Grandpa Schlender was getting attacked by the bull, and Rex came and busted out of the milk house and saved Grandpa Schlender. It was great. But in all seriousness, as I thought about this speech tonight, I thought, those are some good stories. I believe we can learn a lot of lessons doesn't always have to be from something that seems really significant. And I don't want to overemphasize the importance of pets, but I think pets are actually one thing in our lives that can kind of teach us a lesson if we're looking for it. And there are a lot of places where we can pick lessons up if we just open our eyes up and look. But in addition to all those pets I just told you about, of all the pets that I learned the most lessons from, the topic of this speech is lessons from a wiener dog. This is a little model wiener dog that I have. That is an almost exact replica, downscaled model of my wiener dog that I had when I was growing up by the name of Nipper. And there it is. This was given to me by a student. You know, I'm trying not to be too emotional up here tonight, but I'm just going to set Nipper right over here. And again, the topic of my speech is life lessons from a wiener dog. And I think there's a lot we can take from some of Nipper's behaviors if we observe them a little bit deeper. And I always try, in coaching and teaching, there's something called the rule of 3. You know, give people 3 things to remember, review them 3 times, practice them 3 times, and people should be able to remember these things. I added a couple. I went beyond 3. I got 5 in the first place. And there's a couple of lessons with each one. So let's talk about wiener dogs first. Wiener dogs, the official name is a Dachshund. It's a German dog. It's a vicious, it literally means badger dog. Wiener dogs, I'm getting to the point eventually. This isn't read all about it like on the Animal Planet. I'm not going to tell you all about wiener dogs, but they're badger dogs. They were bred to go down into holes and kill badgers and drag them out in Germany. They're violent little animals. And we tried to domesticate them to make them pets. Nipper was not fully domesticated. He did not have the badger busting viciousness bred out of him. And that leads us to some of these stories. The first stories that lead to a lesson is I'm told when I was quite young, I don't remember this one myself. This is what I was told when I was 1 or 2 years old. Nipper was resting quietly on the floor next to me. I was sitting there, I was doing that, I had that little toy where you hammer the peg through and then you flip it over and you hammer it again. It's to occupy children. You had to flip it over and do the same thing over and over again. And Nipper was sleeping quietly, and I banged him on the head with my hand. And he bit me right in the stomach. I was like 2 years old, he turned and he bit me hard in the stomach. Let me show you. There was a scar there. It's gotten bigger through the years. But he bit me. Now, most responsible parents would probably dispose of the dog. But I was told, don't hit the dog in the head and hammer. And story number 2, that's going to lead to the same lesson. We had a little patio. Nipper had his house there that was chained up in the back when we wanted to be outside. One time he was sleeping. And I was 4 or 5 years old. And I thought, oh, that's a neat little dog house. I wonder what it's like in there. So I climbed in Nipper's doghouse.